Are you ready to gab with Hales Reeves and Leon Wilson? Gabbing.
I was thinking a lot about love,
Mm.
because Valentine's Day is coming up, and you know that I got reservations immediately after I went on one date with one person. I said, "You're going to be my Valentine," a month ago, and then we are going to, drumroll please, Tupelo Honey. Have you ever been to Tupelo Honey?
No, I have not been to Tupelo Honey.
It is just a Southern food joint, but it's like one of those. I wouldn't say it's like 2010 aesthetic, but it's a degree above 2010 aesthetic. We're
Like
talking
any
chevron. We're
sleeves
talking
or
turquoise. Yeah,
we're talking pineapple.
you know what I'm saying. But
We're
it's a step
talking
above.
we're talking seafoam green and salmon orange / pink.
Yes, coral, if you will.
Oh yeah, the coral. It's right there in front of me.
Coral. It's all there. But I would say
I hate all of that.
exactly. But it's like the older sister of that,
It,
which I
it
don't. I
is
guess that would
so
be
older
2016
sister.
Tumblr.
No, because
No.
2016 Tumblr. No, that was a little bit before 2016. The teal and coral and the chevron and the pineapple.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm thinking. I guess it's the stage after that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Gotcha. Like still chunky necklaces,
Wow.
like the really
Wow.
chunky necklace, like it covers the full chest. Like
Yeah.
you see pictures of it in 17 magazine. You see Blair wear it in Gossip Girl, things
Blake
like that.
Lively.
Mm-hmm.
Blake
Mm-hmm.
Lively is getting fucked right now in the press. I want to say that the last time that I wore one of those necklaces was when I was still a woman. Let's say it together. I was still a woman.
Still a
And
woman.
it was my graduation from college. And I wore a scarlet dress, long sleeves, flowy long sleeves, short.
It's
I
just
looked
not
like,
you.
like the dot candy.
Yeah,
I looked like a red dot. Like that's a red dot with a blunt bob, a blunt black
like a
bob.
hot tamale.
Yeah, yeah, a hot tamale with legs. That's what I looked like. Cisgender's rise.
Oh my God.
But I've been thinking about a lot about love. But then on the other side, what would be the inversion of love? Do you think? Is it hate or is it death, destruction, chaos?
I think it's fear.
Ooh, Donnie Darko.
Um,
Have you ever seen that movie?
I mean, yeah, but why'd we have to make it about that?
Because that's what they talk about. There are two things that exist in life: love and fear. I guess for me, the first thing that I think of with love and death is Romeo plus Juliet,
Juliet.
the 1996 Baz Luhrmann classic featuring
Mm-hmm.
Claire Danes and Leonardo DiCaprio.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not a big
Yes.
fan of Baz Luhrmann, though.
Me either. I didn't like Moulin Rouge.
No, I hate Moulin Rouge.
I
It's the
hate
worst.
Thank
It's
you.
the worst
You.
movie.
You.
You
Everyone
know,
wants to bat for Moulin Rouge.
no. I had a boss once that had Moulin Rouge lyrics tattooed on her arm, and that wasn't even the first red flag about this bitch. I swear to you. But no, I do not like Moulin Rouge. It's a mess of a movie. I think that's the truth with every Baz Luhrmann movie. Baz Luhrmann, I am coming to get you. You're gonna be doxxed. And I've had enough of your bullshit. That's all.
Hear me out.
Yeah.
What if there was a situation in which Baz Luhrmann had the upper hand on you, and he said,
I'd like to
"Hales,
see him try.
I'd like to see him try.
I'd love to see him try.
You bitch."
Baz Luhrmann has the upper hand on me. Okay,
Baz
yeah,
Luhrmann
let's
has the
go.
upper hand on you,
Uh-huh.
and he says, "I need you to do one thing for me." What would that one thing be? but it has to be meaningful. What would you give him? What is something valuable you'd give him? So you go,
Oh, I'm saying that to Boz Luhrmann. I
yeah,
thought he's saying that to me, and I'm like,
no.
this
He's
riddle
like,
makes
he's
no
like,
sense.
he's like, give me
Oh,
something, give me anything. What could you do for
um,
me? I feel like in like those movies where the protagonist has like a niche interest or like a
mhm.
niche skill that gets them out of the jam. What would
You
that be?
know, I think I would give Boz Luhrmann, you know, those like fridge magnets that are like live, laugh, love,
Yes,
coffeeology, stuff like that. I think I would give him one that says less is more. And that's it.
because that's the same note I would give to his fucking movies.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But you know what? Boz Luhrmann did the Elvis movie, right?
Yeah, that was insane. Honestly, I wasn't even mad at that movie,
One
I'll be
time
honest.
after a show, I was outside of a comedy venue and an audience member who was in the show that I just did came up to me outside and they're like, "Hey, were you in the show that I just watched?" And I was like, "Yeah, yeah, thanks for watching." And they're like, "You look just like Elvis Presley when he's like on coke and sweating." I'm so serious. This is what was said to me. Apparently, I don't look like Maggie Gyllenhaal. I look like Austin Butler when he's Elvis Presley and he's like sweating from cocaine. I have a photo of it somewhere on my phone because it was, I had a full circle moment and it was brought back to me. Here it is. I was told that I look like this.
No. Oh no. Oh
Yeah,
no,
I was
no,
told that
no.
I
Oh
look like
no,
that.
no. I want to let everybody listening know that that was bad. That was a bad thing to say to another human being. In the
She
long
was
list
so
of
happy to tell
things,
me it. She's like, "You look
what a
just like
fucking
that."
bitch. What a
Yeah.
bitch. And that person who always looks like somebody else, but no celebrity, no one cool, not even sweaty Elvis. I just, oh my God, you look just like my cousin Carly.
Yeah, I get that shit all the
What?
time. When I was a waitress, get that all the time, like, wow, you look just like our cousin. And I'm like, yeah, it's because I'm an Irish bitch.
I'm
And we
Irish.
all look alike.
I am Irish as fuck, my guy. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Irish bitches all look alike. We're all just like wide-eyed, no jawline, really good drinkers.
Well, first
You
of
know,
all, well that's why I'm half Irish.
I consider you more Italian than Irish, though. I didn't know you were Irish.
I'm half Irish, half Italian, but I only really claim the Italian. Well, yeah. Which isn't even a flex, because now they're super fascist, and now it's like, oh,
Oh,
oh, it's not even cool. It wasn't cool to begin with. I'm
yeah.
just,
I want to circle back to love and death. And I want to ask you, is your Tamagotchi still alive?
I haven't even pulled that girl out the box.
Well, then she hasn't
The
been
one that
born
you
yet.
gifted me recently,
Yeah, yeah,
I was not allowed to have them as children, a child.
I know. But now you have one as an adult. I just would really like to know like what the journey is like with from the Tamagotchi being released from the box until its demise. I just kind of am curious how that'll feel for you. So when we get there, we'll get there. When
We're gonna check back in next week
yeah,
about the
well, next
Tamagotchi.
week. Yeah. Yeah,
We're
the
gonna check back
Tamagotchi
in next
challenge
week.
starts next week. Mark your calendar.
Mark your calendars,
And it'll be
everyone.
like an annual celebration. So
February
February
2nd.
9th, today is February 2nd. So February 9th, mark in your calendars as Tamagotchi challenge start.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
wonderful. Um,
I just got a message from one of my best friends. Can I tell you what it says?
yeah.
This connects to love and maybe death. I think that if I don't find a partner by 35 or 36, I'm going to just maybe try to have a baby by myself.
Yeah, that's what I call gun and mouth emoji. What the fuck? What the hell? This is one of your best friends? She needs help. You need to help your best friend in this moment. No, but have you heard about those like have you seen those advertisements for like come up with any emoji. Like, you tell AI what you want the emoji to do, and I'm like, gun in my mouth emoji.
Gun in my mouth emoji. When I was a child, I always told myself that I would be a single parent. Why? One, because being gay wasn't an option.
Such a strange thing to say to yourself as a child.
But I was like 9 years old, and I said, I'm not having a husband. I'm not having a boyfriend. I just want me and a child. That was my goal.
I'm surprised
legit.
you didn't. You're just one step away from, I don't want my own kids. I want to be a middle-aged woman who is living in an apartment with her long-term best friend, Cheryl.
Yes.
You
Yes.
know what I mean?
But that wasn't allowed. So I said, oh, my child's not going to have a father. What the fuck? I was advocating for this, like, my future child not to have just one parent. One.
And this parent
hated
wouldn't
men.
be, you know, the father or the mother. It would be somehow both, and at the same time, neither.
Absolutely. Genderless orb.
Yes. So as a kid, you identified. I think about sometimes how my mom had immaculate gaydar when I was a kid.
Oh.
Yeah. And we don't like this. We don't like this because my mom, for the record, my mom is extremely homophobic and transphobic. I don't speak with her. I don't have a relationship with her anymore for many reasons. My mom had like really spot on gaydar when I was a kid. And I'm thinking about it now. I'm like, was that gaydar or was that just like homophobia and like weird things to say to a kid? I remember there was one time we were walking to a grocery store and I was wearing a skirt.
Nice.
I was wearing a denim skirt and it had front pockets and I had my hands in my pockets while we were walking because I'm like, this is how I walk. It also feels cool to put your hands in your pocket and walk. And I think I might have been in like 2nd or 3rd grade. And my mom said, get your hands out of your pockets. You look like a lesbian. Isn't that insane? There was also another time that like, I played soccer as a kid. I played soccer for like 15 years. And
which is more lesbian than putting your fucking hands in your pocket.
When I'm a kid and we're like getting my gear out of the trunk, where I don't forget what it was, but my I think it's because we're doing a scrimmage against a boys team, right? And my sister made a joke like, "Oh, is your like boyfriend on the team?" Like, for whatever reason, I can't wait for this like that type of jokes and discourse to get away from us, of being like, "Oh, you're a child. Who's your boyfriend?" Like, we need to drop that. And my mom went, "Cassie, you don't know that. Haley could be like Mia Hamm. Mia Hamm's a lesbian." Yeah, these are things that happened.
I love love. I love being in love, because my ass is all about limerence and just living in it. And I look at a stranger in the street, and it's like that Hosier song. It's like I fall in love a little bit with every day with someone new. Every single day. I'll walk down, like when I was living in Chicago, barista, imagined it. Male person, imagined it. Family Dollar store worker, imagined it. You know what I mean? Like no one was safe from my imagination on how the rest of our life would look together. Imagined it. Like whoever you think of, imagined it. I thought about it. And I'll tell you how it happens. Yes.
Okay. Does this include celebrities or
Anyone.
like real life people?
Literally anyone. Real life people, celebrities. It's always I think of like, I feel like this is how it would go. This is kind of like with the conditions, right? But everyone has to be really chill about me being poor.
Everyone calm down. Everyone needs to calm down. Everyone needs to chill out. Can I tell you something crazy that happened the other day?
Yeah.
Okay, so as I may have shared on here before, I know I've talked to you about it. I have an upstairs neighbor that is crazy.
No.
Yes. I don't fuck with this guy. He's giving like older white guy that doesn't like that there are single young femmes that live alone. Also, every interaction I've had with him, he's either accused me of doing something I did not do in the backyard, or just being like, he one time asked me if I was doing the naked bike ride. And I said,
what the fuck?
Yeah. But he's lived in the building for like 10 or 15 years. So he thinks the backyard is like his. And a while back, there was rat poison in the yard, and my dog ate some of it. I didn't know there was rat poison in it. I had to rush Lainey to the vet. I had to spend like $1,200 on it. And she's okay, but the other day I ran into him, and I haven't seen him since all that happened. And he's like, "Oh, is your dog okay? Like, I heard that your dog got sick." And I was like, "Yeah, yeah, she got sick. Someone put rat poison in the backyard. Did you do it?" Just because you do everything in the backyard, it's kind of like your space. You definitely make it your territory. So did you
Right.
put the rat poison in the backyard? He goes, "What are you, crazy?" He's like Russian or something. He goes, "What are you, crazy? I love rats. I love rats. I help them out of the trash cans sometimes." He says he
No,
helps rats out of trash
no,
cans. My
no, you
guy, they
suck.
actively want to be there. And also, I can't picture interacting with a city rat without being bit.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, I can't
right.
picture picking up a city rat and the rat not biting you. So he goes like, "What are you, crazy? I love rats." So that's just been in my head all day. Are you crazy?
What are you,
I love,
crazy? I love rats.
I love
I
rats.
think
I help
the
them out to trash
actual,
cans.
the non-suspicious answer would have just been no.
Right? It's also giving
Right.
like, "No, oh, I didn't do that. No, no, no. I I love rats." I'm like, this guy fucks rats. And I know
He
that he
loves,
did it because the rat traps were set up with the same supplies that he sets up his garden with. It's the same materials, same shit. And then he's like, "No, no, I think someone else got into our yard and did that." I'm like, what motherfucker
why would
has the
anyone,
time or interest to break into someone's backyard and set out rat poison, but not like take anything?
yeah,
I have like patio furniture out there. Nothing was taken, you
it's
know?
almost like you
I
did
usually keep my
something
bike out there unlocked. It's never taken. Like, I don't see someone coming into our backyard. I just
because
don't.
he lied. That's
Yes.
lying.
Yes.
That's lying.
So,
That's lying.
what are you, crazy? I love
What are you,
rats.
crazy? I love rats.
What are you, crazy? I fuck rats and I love rats.
What are you crazy? My aunt is a rat. How could you ever say that? I love that. Literally for me in North Central Iowa growing up, we were like swimming in farm runoff and shit. Really, I mean that's what we would do. We called it the pits.
God,
It's just like
you
bodies of
actually
water, but
scared
it's like you know that there are chemicals in there giving you cancer.
me. There's a beach, I'm forgetting the name, I think San Onofre, in San Diego, and it's a gorgeous beach, but it's right next to a radioactive plant. Like, and I remember swimming in that water, and it was beautiful, and it was like we went like camping with our friends, and then we swam at night and in the morning, and I was like, where am I gonna like grow a third eye from this water? Like, it's all gonna be like the sludge water from The Simpsons and the Simpsons movie,
Yes.
which holds up.
And the fish.
Spider Pig can step on
Oh,
my damn neck. Love that movie.
love. Love. But it's like for me it was like all these people are getting cancer from swimming in farm runoff and like living on farms and shit. And then everyone's like, I wonder how this child got bone cancer. What do you guys think? Should we take a poll? Because nobody wants to fuck with the farmers because the
Yeah.
farmers are the ones who bring the money. But
Well,
yeah,
yeah.
what?
Not to get all like hippy dippy, but like I am really paranoid about a lot of things that will give us cancer. Like every time I see like a Glade plugins commercial or like a
Yeah.
Febreze or like anything that's like scents that last forever, I'm like, that's gonna give us cancer. Like an aerosol spray with chemicals that smell. Like, I think Febreze will
Yeah.
give us cancer. I think most of our laundry detergents will. Um,
Every time my mom heats up hot dogs in the pack,
Oh yeah, I never heat up
in
anything
the
in the pot.
microwave, in the
I mean, I
plastic.
also grew up without a microwave, like so I understand that like I
Right.
I have some hippy dippy shit ingrained in me, but like
No, but I
and
believe
like
it. But it also is like Annie Leibovitz, which Annie Leibovitz is Annie Leibovitz. But she had this quote that was like, shit, it's not going to save you. Like, being healthy is not going to save you. But it's also like,
Mhm.
yes, but also, I'd like to die almost on my terms. And that doesn't
Mhm.
include cancer.
Mm-mm.
Like, there are things that I do, like, especially, you know, the Benjamin. cards, especially. It's like,
Oh my God.
how many years did I use an empty cart as a binky, bitch? Just frying that. Just frying it.
Yes.
And now I'm like, will I reach 40?
I
Hello.
know. I think especially like if you had a weed pen or a weed vape that you got from dealers in the like prior to 2020, like before. Like I'm so worried that it's going to be the equivalent of when people smoked like spice in the 2000s. Like I got to
Yes.
be honest with you, I feel like ever since 2020, my eyes have been more and more like
You have to say that again.
wide. Like I think I'm declining at a rapid rate. Leon, when I learned about neuroelasticity, I was so fucking mad. I was so mad when I learned that my brain keeps developing and I have to keep working on it because I was like such a fucking nerd my entire life that I was like a complete nerd for so fucking long. And then I turned 20 and I was like, I'm gonna start smoking a lot of weed. When I was like 24, I learned like, oh, I'm still developing. Are you fucking kidding me?
And I want to let you know what is making me sad is that I started smoking cigarettes at 13 and that now my lungs are damaged forever.
But cigarette damage you can reverse over time with conditioning and exercising.
It's true.
Vaping, like Juuls, all of that shit, like it has not been around long enough to study long-term damage. And at the same
Yeah.
time, we do know now that that damage is not reversible the way that traditional like tobacco cigarettes are. Like obviously to a degree, like of course, I'm not saying either one is better than the other. They're both bad for you. But cigarettes taste so good.
Cigarettes taste so
Oh
good.
my
And
God, they taste
honestly, that's my binky. A blue L&M short. Give me one of those.
good.
Give me one of them. Yeah, that's love to me. That
Oh
is love
my
to me.
God. I used to smoke, I used to like buy packs and I don't. But I'm not saying no to a cigarette either. You know what I mean? But now that I don't like regularly habitually smoke, whenever I'm walking behind someone who is smoking, I feel like a cartoon character sniffing a pie in the window. Like,
Yes.
and like my feet elevate, like I start walking behind that person for blocks and blocks and until they're done.
I
And
would
then,
say that the equivalent for me is when I'm driving through Iowa and I smell a skunk and then I go, oh my God, that's some dank ass fucking weed someone's chiefing. But then I remember that I'm on the interstate. There would be no way. Do you remember the first time you ever smelled skunky weed?
actually, I gotta say no, because my mom was a really big pothead when I was growing up. Before she got really Republican, she was actually like a Satanist who smoked weed every day. For me, like I always just thought the smell of my mom smoking weed in her bedroom, like I thought that was just like a candle or an incense. Because she would light an incense in the living room and then she would go in her room. And I had friends over, and I think I was in like fourth grade. They were like, is your mom smoking weed? Which I think about it now, like that is so ballsy of my mom to smoke weed when like the kids are over, like other people's
Yeah.
kids. She does not give a
Yeah.
fuck. My friend Amanda was like, your mom is smoking weed. And I'm like, no, she's not. That's an incense. No, we were living in Colorado and California. She was probably smoking the good
Probably
stuff.
smoke some good shit.
Like we were
Yeah,
getting groceries at the
absolutely.
dollar store, but she was not smoking Reggie.
Do you value the lives of your children?
Not her.
That's how I feel
Not
about
her.
my dad. He would spend money on dieting. He would spend all of his paycheck on like diet pills,
Seriously?
Ally. Yes, all the time. And he would also be
God.
like, do you want to do this diet stuff with me? And I'd go, yes, as a child. So then I would just be like popping hydroxycut and shit.
My mom is a fool. My mom is a fool.
Maybe
She
I
did a lot.
shouldn't be maybe I shouldn't be a single mother.
Yeah.
I take
The
it
way
back.
that you, oh, when I was a kid, I knew I was going to be a single mother. When I was a kid, I was like, oh, I won't have kids because my mom told me I would be better off if I did. We're working on it in therapy right now, but
Right, right,
yeah.
right,
But
right.
what I really don't like is when I see little kids with like a baby doll or like pushing a stroller. It gives me the ick because it really is like conditioning young girls before they even like can say what their name is. You're conditioning them to be a mother and to be in that like role before they even know how to spell their name.
Right.
It never sits right with me. And they're like pushing their baby in a stroller and they're like, they can barely walk themselves. I was like, this is really yucky.
This is cringina.
It's more cringina than asking like a child if they have a boyfriend.
Are you a chick? He's a chick magnet.
Yeah.
Ew.
I love you. And if you're listening to this pod and you heard me and Leon gab, and it makes you think about a friend that you have that you like to gab with, text that friend and tell that friend that you love them. Do it.
And let's do some unsolicited calls this week. Let's do some cold calling.
Let's cold
Do
call.
some cold calling.
Cold calls our friends this week.
Yes, absolutely. Fuck it. Fuck it. I'm gonna cold call 2 friends this week. That's my goal. It's literally just gonna be you twice.
You've been listening to Gabbing, unfiltered, unsolicited, and undeniably brilliant. We're streaming on Spotify and YouTube, so subscribe, share, and don't act like you didn't love it. Until next time, keep flapping those jaws.